Hi, good evening, teams. Well, what a fortnight that's been in community pharmacy. Easily the hardest on record for workload, some poor behaviour from the public towards you, and decreasing staff resource due to self-isolation requirements and/or coronavirus symptoms. Despite all that, we have made it through, knowing we have some colleagues delivering services today and tomorrow. Thanks again, everybody. Admittedly, you'll be feeling a little battered and bruised from that tidal wave of activity that at times threatened to swamp you. We are seeing and hearing that the workload has settled from last week. It's less frantic, still really busy, and a bit more manageable due to the fewer people actually being in your pharmacies. Now, you might have seen this morning and heard a piece from the BBC Breakfast Time about increasing the capacity for NHS staff testing, and it mentioned one of our large pharmacy partners in that announcement. Full details are not known at the minute. What I can tell you is that it's a UK government-led initiative, doesn't involve those pharmacies' premises, and it's not for self-testing. So it's chill pill time at the minute, and once we get more information, we'll be able to update you next week. What I can say is that anything that will help us and keep as many of our and our colleague NHS employee workforce active will be a good thing. I think what has maybe surprised us all during the last fortnight, and I mean the whole pharmacy family right across all sectors, is the sheer resilience, dedication, commitment, and above all else, professionalism of the community pharmacies during this national health emergency. It has been staggering. Your efforts have been publicly recognised by the First Minister, the Cabinet Secretary for Health, the National Clinical Advisor for Scotland, and our own Chief Pharmaceutical Officer, and it's richly deserved. You were rightly included in the applause for the NHS staff on Thursday night, and I know it gave many of you a boost. Now that workload is beginning to become more manageable, it is allowing us to look up for a minute and consider what may well happen. Our volume of repeat prescriptions should stabilise. They must do. I think you've supplied 2 or 3 for every member of the population lately. We might see an increase in acute prescriptions as the number of positive cases rise and the tidal wave of activity I mentioned before moves across into secondary care. The consequence of that is, more than ever, we need to keep people well in the community, in their own homes, and as you've heard the government health advisors say, literally help save lives. Maintaining that medicine supply function remains the network's #1 priority for the NHS, and it will require all our drivers, healthcare assistants, dispensing staff, technicians, pre-registration pharmacists and pharmacists to contribute to allow us all to do so. I think our pressure will move from prescription volume to staff availability as that number of symptomatic staff and those self-isolating rises. The network will need to be agile and adapt quickly to situations. Things, as you've seen this week, can change daily, and we need to be able to react and make decisions. Things that were right last week may well not be appropriate now or tomorrow. So that leads me to professional decision making, and my very first video message last week: can we do this? Is it okay if we ask questions? The pharmacy profession really likes things black or white. For the next 3 weeks, I have to say there'll be a lot of the grey, and you and your teams will have to make best judgment calls with what you know in the best interest of a patient, the patients at large, and your teams. We've tried to give you more tools to help you do this, such as access to the emergency care summary and the expansion of MASS. So hopefully now you can see where we believe that fits in. I know that the ability to flex and reduce your hours has really helped, and the CPS team are working on some workforce solutions that will help you, and you'll hear more about them next week. Ideally, our goal would be to keep all pharmacies open, even if that was for reduced hours, and yet we're not naive. That may prove near nigh impossible. What I'm saying is we should attempt wherever we can to do so and keep the pharmacies open. Now that brings into question the activities you're doing and whether you can continue to do them, such as MDS. This could be one of those difficult decisions that may be approaching, and if you haven't already considered it, it may be time to. So I can see another couple of challenging weeks ahead for different reasons, and I'm encouraging us all to work together to get through them. I know it's hard, and at times it will appear relentless. What I'm encouraged by is there are signs and shoots of recovery. Now you're telling us that you like the shout outs to colleagues and the wee quiz at the end, so here goes with a few shout outs. We're going international tonight, all the way to Australia, to big Alan Thomas out there. We see you, Alan, and we're looking forward to catching up with you when you get back. We'll go to Wales, and Richard Thomas, Pharmacy Magazine editor extraordinaire. Hello, Richard. To England, a couple of contractors, Mike Hewitson and Rena Barry. Hang in there, guys. Thanks for your feedback. In Scotland, I want to go to Forth Valley first. The pharmacy owners, they want to acknowledge 3 ladies, Jean Logan in primary care, Gillian Thompson in finance, and Suzanne McCrimmon, the IT facilitator, for all you've done for the pharmacies in the past, ladies, and what you will continue to do. To move across to Fife, to Andrea Smith for the support to the network and your rapid pace of delivery. Thanks, Andrea. And in our network, for Alison Salmon, to all the Davidson's pharmacies, mostly up there in Tayside. Alison says a big thanks to Karen and the company for looking after them all. Now down to David Steele, an honest man in Ayrshire. I always said you look better in blue and white than you do in black and white, David, but we'll come to that again. To Laura Ingram in Stirling, for your support and feedback. Cheers, Laura. And the last one tonight, that goes to Stockbridge Pharmacy in Edinburgh, and especially to you, Linda. Steph tells me you were looking for a signed photo, so we'll see what we can do. And for everybody else, Sean, our pharmacy services coordinator, he's working on Wee Baldy Pharmacy Guy video merchandise, and we hope you'll have mugs and t-shirts available for you all by Christmas. Now, I hope those make you smile, because if we can't be kind to each other at this time, when can we? So Matt asked you last night, who was the first black African-American actor to win the Best Actor Oscar, and in which film? So that was Sidney Poitier in the 1963 film Lilies of the Field. So my question for you tonight takes us to the world of sport. Andy Murray has won the Wimbledon's men's singles title twice. Which years did he win, and who did he beat in those finals? So a final word for tonight. We do have some challenging times ahead, and I know we can do this. I know you can. So to help for those out there, those might need some of you a fist bump. And for some of these out there, you might need a socially distant group hug. So there you go. I'll be back on Tuesday, as Matt's on tomorrow, and Adam is on Monday with a Facebook Live session. All the best. Good night.